Danny. Hi, Sarah. I'll let people get started. Hi, Jane. We're going to start on our backs. So whilst I wait for the last few people, if people want to come down and lie on their backs, that is where we are going to start. If anyone's got sensitive ears, I do apologise because I just have been listening to the playlists I made, and they're all songs that I have in different playlists anyway, and sometimes I don't like listen through to the whole thing for a while, and I just realised there's a swear word in the playlist that I gave you also. I hope none of you are too sensitive. Hi Kerry, nice to see you, and see you the other day to properly meet you. I bumped into Kerry out for a run the other day, and I'd not met her in person, so I was like, oh hi, this weird world where you like virtually met someone but not properly, so it was weird. Hi Anne, Tristan. Give a few more moments. Amelia, hello. Not quite where we were last year, but it'll do, virtually teaching instead of being in the Alps. Give people a minute or two. You guys that are already here can lie on your backs, and then it's gonna be maybe around an hour, just short of an hour. I won't run over, but we might get up to the hour. Oh, Sarah, I think you'd be best playing it off another device. So if you had your phone or your laptop, so if you maybe had the class up on your laptop but play the Spotify off your phone, I think if you try and do it off the same device, it'll close down one, I would have thought. Hi Jill. Hi Edja. Okay, we'll start. So I'd have two devices running. You've still got a bit of time because we're going to be chilling on our backs for a little minute. So if you want to mess around with technology for a moment, you won't miss anything. Calm down. Lie on your backs. Bring the soles of the feet together. Take the knees out wide. Lift the hips and just tilt the tailbone under so that more of the lower back is supported by the ground. And then just rest the hands onto the front of the body, sink into the shoulders, close the eyes, and just take a few big breaths. Kind of let go of the day, let go of everything you've had to do today, any rushing around, any stresses you've had on. Try and leave them off the mat, try to let them go, deal with them later. And now just give yourself the next 60 minutes to focus, to notice how the body feels, to connect with the breath. You can invite a deeper breath in, so charge the breath up. Encourage the breath to expand the chest and the torso. Start to notice how the body reacts. So on that exhale, can you find a release? Can you find a softening? And then just reach the hands down to the outside of the thighs. Bring the knees into the chest. Give the knees a rock from side to side. And then keep hold of the left leg, extend the right leg out. Just rotate into that left hip. So just warm up into the left hip joint. Have a rock and a shift side to side. And then half happy baby. So left knee comes out to the side, hold the left foot, pull the left thigh down, so you're trying to send the left quadricep, the top of the left leg, towards the ground on that left side of the body. If you need to, use the right hand to almost anchor the right hip down. Massage, compress into the front of the left hip. And then bring that left foot towards the right hand to the left knee, and try and work that shin in towards you. So think about how close you come to that shin in a pigeon pose. See if you can challenge yourself to draw the shin in towards the chest. So try and keep the foot up towards, working towards the right shoulder. See if you can feel stretch around the left hip as you draw that shin in. Take one more breath. And then let it go. Extend that left leg long. Switch it over, bring the right knee in. Just rock and shift side to side, massage through that right hip, compress, twist and challenge. And then take that right thigh out to the side, hold on to the right foot. You're working the right thigh down towards the ground, trying to open the top of the right hip. Massage side to side. And then again, thinking about pigeon. So can you pull that right shin over towards the left elbow, right hand on the right knee, and try and work the chest towards the shin towards the chest, so you feel that stretch in the outside of the right hip. Trying to work it in nice and close. And then bring the knees into tabletop, pull the navel in, so sink the lower back towards the ground, reach the arms out, keep a line drawing down the thighs, so try and sink the hips down heavy to the floor. And then extend the right leg, tap the right toes towards the mat, without letting the back lift, and bring that right leg in. Extend the left leg away, tap the left toes to the floor, and bring it back in. If you like, as a reminder, place the hands onto the front of the body, so onto the abdominals. Take the right toes away and tap. Bring it back in. Take the left toes away and tap. Bring it back in. Now you can either work twice more like that. If you find the back's lifting and it's easier, curl the head, neck and shoulders up so you can support and push the lower back into the floor. Go once more each side, so to the right, to the left. And then we're going to keep the lower back pushing down. See if you can tap both toes, keep the knees bent and pull back in. Go for 3 more. So lower both toes, bring it back in and lower and back in. 1 more. And bring back in, then support the backs of the legs, cross the legs, take the hands forward, step the knees back. And you're just going to work through cat-cow. So just open the chest. On the inhale, look forwards, pull the shoulders down the back. And on the exhale, round through the spine. You're moving there between the two, so the inhale takes you forwards, open across the chest, and the exhale takes it back. You're going to keep moving through that. Whilst I just lift the potatoes out the oven that I said I'd do before I started teaching, you carry on. Inhale forwards and exhale back. I was like, I'll lift them out before I start teaching and then they'll be fine. So you just carry on. I'll be really speedy. Sorry about that. Spread the hands nice and wide. Last week, I think it was in this class that I had to kill a wasp. I swear nothing else. It all runs really smooth in my other classes. Tuck the toes. Draw the abdominals in and lift the hips up to the sky. Pedal out through the feet. Give the head a little shake. I could teach in a quieter part of the house, but the light is better in the kitchen. So you just have to bear with, I do apologise. Lift the hips up nice and high. Take a big breath in through the nose. And then sigh everything out through the mouth. Take a big breath in through the nose. And then sigh everything out through the mouth. Look towards the hands, soften, bend the knees. And then roll forwards into your plank position. Hold that plank, drive down into the hands and really push into the back of the shoulders. Pull the navel in. So if you've got trousers on that are quite high-waisted, imagine you're trying to lift the navel away from the waistband of the trousers. You're trying to pull tension away from the trousers. And then take the hips back up to the sky, into down dog. Inhale, reach the right leg high, extend through that right heel. Pull the right knee into the chest, step the right foot forwards. Lower the back knee down, point the back toes. And then inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. So just soften the shoulders. Tilt the tailbone, lift up through that left thigh and start to encourage that left hip forward so you feel a really deep stretch through the left hip flexor. Pull in through the front of the pelvis. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, take both hands down. Left hand stays to the floor, then reach the right arm up to the sky. And I want you to think about pulling that right thigh in towards the body as you twist. So don't just let the right thigh hang out to the side. Pull in so the midline stays really strong. Reach higher through the right fingertips. Take a full breath. And then as you breathe out, bring that right hand to the floor. Start to straighten through the right leg. You can walk the hands back in, maybe you're on the fingertips. So you're trying to pull down that right line of the thigh. So drive the right heel down and lengthen through the back of the right leg. Start to send the chest, send the torso forwards. Think about pulling in through the front of the body. See if you can close the gap between the abdominals and the right thigh. Take another breath in and out. Right hand to the outside of the right foot. Bend into that front right knee. Tuck the back toes. Lift the arms up, rising to your high lunge. So if you need to reposition and walk the back foot in so you're more comfortable, that's fine. Keep the tailbone long. Keep the front of the body drawing in. Keep the shoulders relaxing down. Maintain height through the chest, but try not to flare out the lower ribs. So keep drawing the lower ribs in. Start to lengthen through that back leg. Start to straighten out through the left leg. See if you can unlock the front of the left hip. Bring the hands into prayer. Prayer into heart center and then lift that left elbow all the way outside of the right knee. Drive down into that right thigh. Lift the chest up to the ceiling. So you're trying to look beyond that left elbow. Keep the back leg strong and really open the chest towards the ceiling. Take a big full breath in and out. One more breath in and out. Look down to the ground. Bring the hands down to the floor, either side of the right foot. Step the right foot back just a little away from the hands. Weight down into the right foot. Lift the left leg back. So you're in a supported warrior three. So your hands are towards the top of the mat. You're trying to lift through that right thigh and pull in through the abdominals. Kick that left heel as far back as you can and try and lengthen through both sides of the waist. Take one more breath. And as you exhale, land the left toes to the back of the mat. Soften both knees. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, take the hands down to the floor. Step back into a plank position. Hold it for a moment. So draw up through the thighs. Push down into the hands. Lower the knees. Bend the elbows into the side of the waist. Take the chest and chin down. Inhale. Scoop the chest forwards. Draw the shoulders back. Exhale, lower. Tuck the toes. Bend the knees. Send the hips up to the sky. Into downward facing dog. So just shake out through the head and the neck. Relax into the jaw. Inhale, take the left leg high. Reach out through that left heel, lengthen it further back, push into both hands. Pull the left knee into the chest. Step the left foot forwards, lower the back knee down. Reach the arms up to the sky. And then think about the position of the pelvis, so tailbone down. Draw in through the abdominals. Should feel quite a deep stretch in that right hip before you even send any of the body weight forwards. So lengthen down, lift up, soften the shoulders, and then move into that right hip. Take a few breaths here. Make sure there's space around the neck and the shoulders. So don't be hugging the shoulders to the ears. Have them nice and soft down the back. Reaching up through the chest, lowering yourself into that right hip. Take one more breath. And then as you breathe out, take the hands to the floor. Keep the right hand down. Lift the left arm up to the sky. Keep that left knee pulling in towards the midline. So don't allow that left knee to fall out. Use the inner thigh. Strengthen the left hip. Pull it in towards the body as you reach the left fingertips high. Exhale, bring the left hand down. Start to straighten through the left leg. So draw the left toes back, walk the hands in, pull through those left toes, drive down into the left heel. And just notice if you shift the weight to this right hip, bring the hips so they sit in the center of the mat. Instead of firing them out to that side, keep everything down the midline of your mat. Take a few breaths. You're trying to close that gap between the abdominals and the left thigh. Trying to send the body weight forwards as you open the back of the left leg. Breathe in and out. Come forwards. Push in to the left toes. Hit the hands either side of the foot. Tuck the back toes. Bring that left foot back just a fraction and then take the hands further forwards. Send weight down into the left leg. Reach the right leg back, supported warrior three. So you're keeping the torso long. You're keeping that left leg pushing down. Think about lifting up through the left thigh. What we don't want to do is we don't want to collapse into the inner arch of the left foot. So you want to keep lifting the inner arch. Lift through the thigh, kick and extend back through the right foot. Take one more breath. Exhale, slowly land the right toes back. Come up into your high lunge, reach the arms up to the sky. Hands into prayer. Twist that right elbow over the left knee. If you need to rest the back knee, then rest it down. You're pushing into the right elbow to lift the chest. And make sure you draw the abdominals in on the inhale. Twist even deeper on the exhale. Go for two more. Inhale, draw in. Exhale to twist. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come back to center, reach the arms up to the sky. And then exhale, take the hands down to the floor, step back into your plank position. Hold that plank strong. Take a moment. You can either lower the knees as we did before, so knees to the floor and then chest and chin, or bend the elbows into the side of the body. Keep the body in a straight line, lower to 90 degrees in the elbows, point the toes. Push the floor away to lift the chest. Draw the shoulders back, squeeze the glutes, chin in. Take it all the way back and up. And if you're in baby cobra, bring it all the way into down. Shake the head out. Nod yes. Wriggle side to side no. Push into the hands to lift the hips up to the sky. And fill the space in the back of the shoulders. So try not to collapse into the chest. Try and push into the back of the body. Pull in through the abdominals. Breath in and breath out. Make sure the weight is spread wide across the hands, nice and evenly through all 4 fingers, through the thumb. And then inhale, reach that right leg up to the sky, extend the right heel high. Bring the right knee into the chest, step the right foot forwards, and then reach the arms up to the sky, come into your high lunge. Soften the shoulders down the back. Lengthen the tailbone, lift in through the abdominals, draw the lower ribs down. See if you can challenge yourself. Sit slightly lower into the right thigh. Take a breath in and a breath out. Bring the hands into prayer and then load the weight over that right leg. So send the body weight forwards. So you're pouring more weight down into that right leg than you are into the left leg. Hands into heart center, shift even more until you can lift the back leg off the floor. Coming into a balance on that right leg. So warrior 3, standing with the weight on the right leg, extending the left leg back. And if you want to go supported as we did before, just bring the hands down. Think about lifting up through that right thigh, keeping the chest open forwards, keeping the sides of the waist long. If your hands aren't to the floor, bring them down to the ground. Right hand stays down, left hand comes to the left hip, and think about opening the left hip to the left side of the room. So start to open that left hip on top of the right hip. Keep lifting through the right leg, so trying to pull that right kneecap up the thigh. See if you can find space from the right armpit to the right hip. Take one more breath. And then exhale, bring both hands down. Look towards the mat, square the hips off so the left hip faces down to the floor. Inhale, look forwards, kick the left leg back. Exhale, round everything in, bend both knees. Inhale, kick that left leg back. Exhale, round everything in. 2 more. Inhale, kick back. Look forwards, find the workload in the right thigh. Exhale, round in. So you're strengthening the right leg. 1 more, kick back. Exhale, round in. Now from this rounded position, step that left leg to the back of the mat. Bring the hands into the inside of the right foot. Lower the back knee. And then point the back toes. You can stay on the hands. Keep the chest moving forward so you open that left hip. Lengthen the tailbone down. Pull in through the abdominals. And stay there on the hands or rest it to the elbows. So wherever you are, you're going to feel it through the hips. So it doesn't matter whether you're on hands or forearms, but what you can do is you can relax the weight of the head. So you don't need to hold or strain through the neck. You can relax there, opening through that left thigh. If you're quite strong through the ankles and the knees and you want even more, push into that back toe, the back foot, to lift the back knee off the floor, but that's quite a lot through the left hip, so perfectly welcome to stay with the back knee resting down, trying to open through that left hip. Pushing into the hands or pushing into the forearms. Take another big full breath in. And then breathe out. Keep the left knee where it is. Step the right leg to the back of the mat so you can come into a side plank. Reach the right arm up to the sky. Now you're either staying here with that back knee down, lowering and lifting, so you work the left side of the waist, or if you want more, straighten both legs, reach the right arm up to the sky, and you're going to lower and lift. Lower but don't touch the ground, and lift. Go for your last one, so either the knees down You're lowering and lifting. Bring both hands. Come into your plank position. Lower the knees. Take the chest and the chin all the way down. Interlace the hands behind the back. Point the toes. Lift the chest forward. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Open nice and wide. Exhale, release. Hands to the floor, tuck the toes. Sit back into your child's pose. So rest the forehead to the floor. Rock through the hips. Just release into the lower back. And take a few breaths there. So just try and soften through the shoulders. Try and make some space between the shoulders and the ears. And see if you can really lengthen the hips back towards the heels. So you're trying to open the lower back as much as you can. And you can just massage the forehead side to side. Make sure you're not clenching the jaw, you're not gripping the jaw. Take 2 more big breaths. And then on your next big inhale, push into the hands, rise forwards to all fours. Tuck the toes, take it back into downward facing dog. Breathe in. Reach the left leg up to the sky, extend through that back heel. Pull the left knee into the chest, step the left foot forwards, keep the back knee lifted. Reach the arms up to the sky. And then soften the shoulders, soften into that back knee. Lengthen the tailbone down. Pull in through the front of the body. Draw those lower ribs down and in. Lengthen into the back of the neck. Bring the hands into prayer heart center. And then slowly send the body weight forward so you start to load that left thigh. That left leg starts to take more of the body weight and then shift even more until you can lift that back leg off the floor so you come into your balance. Sending the body weight forwards, kick away through the right heel. Lean forwards at the hips, kick back, extend the crown of the head away. If you need to use the hands, support the warrior 3, that's fine. You're still strengthening through the left leg. If your hands aren't to the floor, bring them down. Keep the left hand there. Take the right hand to the right hip and start to open the right hip on top of the left. So find that lift through the right side of the body. So now your pelvis is facing over to the right wall. So we're trying to open through that top hip, build strength in the left standing leg. Take 1 more breath. And then release both hands to the floor. Turn the right hip so it faces to the ground. Inhale, look forwards, kick that right leg back. Exhale, round everything in. Inhale, kick back, look forwards. Exhale, round in. Go for 2 more. So extend, lengthen, look forwards. Exhale, round. Last one, extend, kick out, and then round in. Take a long step back with the right leg. Bring the hands down to the floor. Lower the right knee. Rest to the hands. Move that right hip forwards towards the ground. And stay on hands or rest to the forearms. Wherever you are, relax the weight of the head. So try not to carry the head, try not to strain and look where you're going. Just relax the head. And let the shoulders relax as well. Try not to carry any unnecessary tension. See if you can still think about the position of the pelvis though. So you're lengthening the lower back. You're trying to lift forwards and up through those hips. As we did on the other side, if you're quite open through the hips and you can take it in the ankle and the knee, point those right toes, lift the back knee off the floor, but it's quite strong through the joints of that right leg, so only go there if you're feeling quite fit or you're up for the challenge. And then slowly lower that back knee. I want everyone to have the back knee on the floor. We're going to shift and take the left leg to the back of the mat, reach the left arm up to the sky. So option one is to lower the hips with that bottom knee down and then lift through the waist. Option two would be to extend both legs, lower the hips, don't let them touch, and then lift back up. Wherever you are, there's three more. So lower and lift. Lower and lift. One last time, lower down. And then lift, bring the left hand to the floor, take it into downward facing dog. Give the head a shake. And then roll forwards into your plank position. Lower the body down in one straight line. So bend the elbows into the waist. Take it all the way to the floor. Point the toes. Hands out to the side, fingertips to the ground. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the chest. And exhale, lower. Two more times. Inhale, squeeze the shoulders, lift the chest. Exhale, lower. Last one. Squeeze the shoulders, lift the chest. Exhale and lower. Tuck the toes. Sit back to all fours and then just move the knees out really wide this time and sit back into a deep child's pose. So really lengthen the hips back. Reach the arms out. Relax the forehead to the floor. And if you want to, if you still feel like you're straining here in a child's pose, take the arms down by the side and really let go of the shoulders. So you've either got the arms down by the side, taking the strain off the shoulders and the chest, or you're reaching the arms out, but make sure you're not resisting gravity. So actually let the forearms rest into the mat. Try not to hold them off the mat. Try to settle into the mat. So try and really surrender. Don't battle. And just take a few breaths here. Notice how your breath travels into the belly, into the chest. So try and make that breath nice and full. We don't want to force it. We don't have to strain for the exhale or hold on to the inhale. We do want it to have some power. We want the breath to have some weight, some energy about it. And take one last breath. And then push into the hands. Come forwards to all fours, so hands under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Tuck the toes, take the hips up to the sky, come back into your down dog. Allow the weight of the head to relax. Try and have the biceps and the ears in one line. So you're not looking forwards, you're not curled in. We want the neck to be an extension of the spine. Then we'll reach the left leg up to the sky. Extend out through the left heel. And then bend the left knee. See if you can draw that left heel in towards the back of the hips. Lifting the left knee to the sky at the same time. So opening across the pelvis, the front of the left hip, the inside of the right thigh. You're going to bring that left knee into the chest. Hold the left knee in. And then we're going to drop the right heel to the left side of the mat. If you're feeling quite strong, keep holding on to that left leg. If you'd rather extend the left leg out, extend it to the right side. If you're holding on, challenge yourself. Reach the right arm up to the sky and then extend the left leg. So wherever you are, we're going to stretch both legs out. lift through the hips. Now option 1 is to rest the hips down, give that wrist, this left wrist, a moment to relax, and then push the hips back up. You're still working the side of the waist. Option 2 is to lower, don't let the hips find the floor, lift them back up. Wherever you are, we'll go for 2 more. So lower, maybe release the hand, and then lift. Lower, just hold, and then lift. Bring the right hand down. Step back into your down dog. And take your time in down dog, so don't rush. This can be your base. So settle into that base, push into all 4 points of contact, the hands, the feet. Lift and lengthen through the hips. And then to the right. So lift the right heel up. Bring the right knee into the chest. Lower the left heel to the floor. Option 1, you start by extending the right leg towards the ground on the left side of the mat. Option 2, you hold the right leg and you reach the left arm up and then extend the right leg. So now we should all have both legs extended out, both hips lifted. Option first here is to lower the hips all the way to the ground. Give yourself a chance to release the right wrist. Place it down, lift up. Keep going. Option 2 is to lower, to hold, and then lift. So you've got 2 more. You're lowering to hold and lifting, or lowering all the way down, sitting the hips down, releasing the wrist, pushing back, lifting up. Bring the left hand to the floor. Step back into down dog. And then rest the knees to the floor. Keep the toes tucked. So keep a stretch onto the soles of the feet. Keep the little toes tucked under. Close the eyes. Rest the hands into the knees. And let the breath steady. So let the shoulders relax. Imagine someone's lifting a piece of string out through the crown of the head. So imagine someone's taking any weight, load or pressure out of the shoulders, out of the lower back. Take one more full inhale as you open the feet. I know it hurts, but bear with it. Exhale, let it go. And then come forwards. If you need to pat out the feet and just release the front of the feet, then you can do so. I mean, you can hit the floor, but I don't want to make it noisy. So take the legs back. Come forwards onto your front and make a pillow with the hands. Rest the forehead. And that's your contact, so you're keeping that forehead and hand connection. Try not to lose that. Point the toes, zip the legs together, and then you're going to lift the forehead, lift the elbows. Keep the hands touching the forehead. Try and lift the elbows higher. Feel the shoulder blades work. Feel the back work. And then lift the toes off the floor as well. So squeeze the glutes, lift the feet higher. Keep yourself there for 3. Keep breathing for 2. And for 1, lower it down. When you lower, just rock the hips side to side. Allow the lower back to release. Same again. So you're stacking the hands, lifting the forehead, pointing the toes. Now if that's plenty, stay there. Keep the breath. If you want more, bend the knees. Reach the hands round for the ankles. And then push the feet back to open the chest. So you can either stay with the legs extended, forehead to hands. You're still strengthening the back. And you're actually avoiding compressing in there. So only bow back if you're feeling super strong in the back body. Wherever you are, release the hands. Release the forehead. And just sway the hips side to side. So just let that go. Take a few breaths. And then Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Sit the hips back to the heels and take it into a downward facing dog. Lift yourself out of downward facing dog. So imagine someone's pulling the hips up to the sky and giving you space to open the back of the legs, to lengthen away through the calves. Take 2 big breaths here. And then reach the left leg up to the sky. Kick away through that left heel. Bring the left knee into the chest. You're lying that left shin down to the mat. Now it doesn't have to be fully parallel. Just want it to be comfortable for you. Take the left hand onto the left thigh and the right hand onto the left foot. So if pigeon's really hard, just stay here, keep that back knee down, but try and think about lifting through the chest. So the more you lift through the chest, the more you're going to open that right hip. If you feel like you've got a bit more in the tank, tuck the back toes and lift that back knee off the floor. So now I've got to recruit all those muscles through the back leg. I've got to work around the right hip. If you're staying with the back knee down, just keep breathing there, lifting the chest. If you've got that back knee lifted, now challenge yourself, see if you can reach the arms up to the ceiling. Pull in through the front of the body. So try and lift yourself up and then lower that back knee. We can all release the hands off the foot and the knee and slowly fold forwards to the elbows. Allow the head to relax in. And if the breath is racing, try and slow the breath down. So make sure it's continuous. We want the inhale and the exhale to match in length. We want the breath to be even. So maybe count the inhale and count the exhale. Breath in and out. Take one more breath and let it go. Shift your weight over to the left side of your mat, to that left hip, and bring the right leg all the way round. So now your left foot is on the inside of that right thigh. Draw the right toes back, so pull the right toes back to face the body. Now shift the body to face the left bent knee. Take the right hand to the outside of the left thigh. Sit that left hip down and then reach the left arm over like you're trying to find the right toes. And so you're trying to open the left side of the body. If you come in, you're going to back off from the stretch. So try and keep the chest open. Try and keep the chest, the heart looking up towards the ceiling. Relax the weight of the head. Open through the side of the waist. Take 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Now exhale 2, you can relax that left hand down to the floor, inside of the right leg. Bring the right hand out as well and fold over that long leg. So still draw the toes back. You're trying to send the chest and the belly towards that right thigh. Try and relax the weight of the head. Think about trying to draw back down the right thigh. So you're trying to pull that right hip, that right thigh back in towards the body as you lengthen the chest and the torso forwards. Take one more big inhale. On an exhale, fold deeper. And then inhale, walk the hands back. Keep the legs as they are. Take the left hand to the back, to the side of the left hip. Point the right toes. Lift the hips up to the sky, so push into the left knee. Point the right toes away, reach the right arm up, and then stretch the right arm back. So you're opening through the hips, through the shoulders, across the chest, into the throat. Take one more breath. And then on your exhale, let the hips come down all the way to the floor. Bring the hands to the top of the mat. Bend that right knee and step back into downward facing dog. And when you get there, just notice how it feels from left to right. Maybe give the hips a little bit of a rock side to side. And then look towards the hands. Reach the right leg up to the sky. Bring the right knee into the chest for pigeon, so that right knee is coming in towards the right wrist. Again, I'll say it doesn't have to be parallel to the front of the mat. Stretch that right leg back. Bring the left hand onto the right foot, right hand onto the right thigh. And you might just stay there with the back knee down, trying to think about lifting up. We've come down so easily in our pigeon, but we're trying to open that left hip. So the more you lift up, the more space we're going to create on the left side. And if you want more, tuck those back toes, lift that back leg off the floor so you strengthen that back leg. You have to really work to support the pelvis a bit more. You can stay there, or the hands reach up to the sky. If you're staying with the hands down and the back knee down, that's fine. Just keep lifting. Keep opening that back hip. Still going to find the work. On the next breath, lower that back knee down. Bring the hands forwards. Let the toes go if you lifted the back leg, and then bring it forwards. Relax the head. And just soften into the back of the neck. We're trying to think about moving that right hip back to allow the left hip to come forwards. So imagine someone's pulling your right hip back and moving that left hip forwards. For those of you I teach on a super regular basis in London, hopefully you're used to me like really manually shifting you, and you can kind of recall the assist, because it's not as easy to verbalize it as it is to do it myself. But that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to lengthen that right side of the lower back, and we're trying to move that left hip towards the floor. Take a big full breath in, and then as you breathe out, rock the weight onto that right hip, swing the left leg all the way around, extend the left leg out. So now you want your right foot into the left thigh. I'm going to start by looking over to the bent right knee. Place the left hand outside of the right thigh. Reach the right arm up and over, so stretch into the right side of the body. Don't cheat just yet by coming forwards. Try and keep the chest lifting up. So imagine someone wants to spiral your rib cage open. So someone's going to place their hand on your rib cage, and they're going to open your rib cage towards the ceiling. So there's loads of space into the right side of the lower back, the right side of the body. Take one more breath in, and then as you breathe out, let the right hand come down. Release the left hand, take it to the outside of the left leg, and fold yourself over that left thigh. So lengthen the body forwards, close the gap between the left thigh and the torso. One more full breath in and out. Slowly walk the hands back up. You're going to take the right hand beyond the right hip this time, point the left toes. Lift the hips up to the sky, reach the left arm up, and then allow the left hand to come back, the chest to open. And if your neck's okay, you can even let the head relax back, and you can open the throat. Squeeze the glutes. Lift the chest, lift the hips. Take a full breath in. And then as you breathe out, lower the hips down. Extend both legs out in front of you and give the legs a little bit of a shake. Now just make sure you've got space behind you, so you might want to come a bit further forwards on the mat. Plant the feet to the floor. Reach the arms out and then curl the tailbone under. So start that movement by sending the tailbone down to the floor. So you've got a big C shape through the spine. You're going to inhale, open the right arm out to the side. Keep challenging that C shape. Exhale, bring it back. Pull in through the abdominals as you inhale to the left. Exhale back to center. Inhale to the right. Exhale back to center. Inhale to the left. Exhale to center. Go one more each time, each side. And back. Last one to the left. And back. Now hold the hands there. Inhale, reach the arms up to the ceiling. Sit nice and tall. Exhale, roll the spine back down into that C shape. Go 3 more times. Inhale, reach up. Lift up, sit nice and tall. Exhale, round through the spine. Pull the tummy in. Curl the tailbone under. 2 more. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. Inhale to lift. Last one to round. Hold it here. Curl down even lower than you did before. Keep that strength in the front of the body. Keep curling down, curling down, curling down. And then bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself a hug. Rock the knees from side to side. Keep both knees in the left hand. Take the right arm out to the side. Guide the knees all the way over to the left. Look towards the right shoulder. And stretch through that right side body. So you're trying to open through the hip, with the side of the body across the right shoulder. Maybe reach the right fingertips away. And notice how the body responds to that exhale. So soften with each out breath. And then come back. Hug the right arm around the knees. Left arm out to the side. Guide the knees over to the right. Stretch out through the left side. And then come back to center. Take the legs out to the corners of the mat, so stretch the right leg as far away as you can. Stretch the left leg down. Rest the hands either onto the body or down by the side. Coming into rest, into Shavasana. So if you need to fidget or wriggle or reach for a top or jumper or anything, then you can do so now. If not, just lie onto the back. Let the feet fall out to the side, so let the ankles release. Relax across the shoulders, across the chest. You've worked super hard in this evening's class, so take 3 big breaths. So take a big full inhale, and then everything you've got, sigh out on the exhale. 2 more, so your biggest full breath in, and a long full breath out. 1 more breath in. Or you've got to breathe out. And then just let the body melt into the mat, into that space you've put aside to practice this evening. You can take a moment as you're led here just to be grateful for the space to practice and the chance to practice and the time you've put aside, so you're part of that, so you can internally give yourself a little thank you or a little high five, and then start to deepen the breath Make the breath fuller, more active, awakening the body. Wriggle the fingers and the toes. Just start to roll the wrists, the ankles. If you want to find a big full body stretch, as long as you've got space around you, you can reach the arms overhead. You can lengthen back, point the toes, take a big, big breath in. And then hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a good squeeze. Make a ball without too much fuss. Bring that ball up into a seat, cross the legs. Rest the hands on the knees, close the eyes. Steady the breath, find that continuous, steady breath, your own rhythm, your own breath. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Soften the shoulders and see if you can keep that softness, keep the space across the collarbones. Maintain the length throughout the spine, even just for the rest of the evening. Notice the absence of any expression or tension in the face. See if you can keep that throughout the rest of the evening. And then bring the hands into prayer heart center. Rest the chin into the chest. Just thank yourself for putting time aside to practice this evening. Sorry I had to disrupt the class to rescue dinner from the Arga, but those of you who have an Arga will understand and appreciate how quickly things burn and how pivotal it is to get them out. So I'm very sorry about that. This is one I won't upload onto the website. I'll make another copy of this class for you. I am sorry, but thank you for joining. Hope you could all follow along all right. If you have any feedback for me, then let me know. If Facebook Live isn't great and you'd rather us move on to Zoom, I can move on to Zoom. Just means you have the admin of the links and logging in and stuff, but I'm more than happy to do that. It doesn't mean, for those of you that don't use Zoom, you don't have to like buy an account or anything. You just need to download the app, but that is an option. So if you would rather that, let me know and I'll kind of see how many people say that would be the best option. If not, enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll see you on Sunday morning at 11 is our next live class. So I'll see you then. Thank you.